guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bree if you are new here, and in today's video I'm going to be decluttering my backups actually. So in my little hallway closet that I have out there, I have two of those like Sterilite container, like the drawer containers. I have two, of a smaller one and a bigger one, and that's where I store my backups. So great because they're out of the way and you know all of that, but bad because sometimes things just like get lost in there. Or sometimes between, you know, when I bought something and then when I actually get to it, like, you know, I will realize, hey, I don't really like this product anymore. Things happen. But it is time to kind of just go through everything, declutter, reorganize, just clean up. It needs to be done. So I am doing a declutter every single month until I have decluttered all of my makeup. I think I may even add a brush declutter this year. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't completely decided yet, but I'm leaning towards adding a blush declutter. We'll see. Brush declutter. But if you guys want to hang out and see me declutter my backups, see what I like enough to have backups of, see what I stupidly bought as a backup and now don't want, then just keep on watching. So I feel like I have to give a disclaimer at the beginning of all of my declutters right now. Last year, I was on a no-buy. I only bought makeup halfway through the year and then in my holiday haul. And then this year, I am on a very, very strict low buy. So with that being said, I probably actually have less backups than I used to, which is a good thing, but I do still have quite a bit. I've been on a no buy and a low buy. So I was going through makeup a lot quicker, so I was going through my backups a lot quicker. So, you know, just keep that in mind. But I have 5 drawers of stuff to go through. So let's just get started. The first drawer that I have is kind of a mishmash. Like, it's the one for my thumbnail because it was the most full and also the one that was on top. Kind of a mishmash, mostly skincare. I think it's entirely skincare and just like random shit. So let's jump in. First things first, I literally finished this last night. So I'm gonna pull this out of my backups because it needs to go into the bathroom because I'm gonna need it tonight. So that can go somewhere. Over here, looks fine. That's great. But that's the Garnier micellar water. It's the one with the oil in it. I find that that's the one that gets like eyeliner and mascara off the best, so that's what I use. Random stuff. I'm actually gonna pull this random single one off of the razor out of there and just toss it in here. But face razors. I actually just recently picked up the Kish ones. Kish, whatever. Really big fan of these. Like these a lot. This is a random Ardell one, but I'm just gonna tuck the Ardell one in there. I do like having, let me compare these two. I don't love the Ardell ones because I find that they can be a little bit rough, but I like, you can see the size difference between them. I like sometimes having smaller ones on hand, simply because sometimes you need like a fine detail situation and a bigger razor is not the easiest to like get up in this space right here. Honestly, I usually buy the Ardell ones at like TJ Maxx or something like that because they sell them for super cheap there. I'm unsure why I always buy these in like multiples, but I have 2 of the e.l.f. Whoa Glow SPFs. They're my favorite. Use them all the time. I actually blow through these pretty quickly. Have 2 of those. I also randomly bought some stuff from the some powder foundations actually directly from the e.l.f. website, and they were like, hey, you'll get 2 free samples, and I was like, cool. And so I got 2 sponges, and then I also got a little travel size of the Sun Touchable Invisible. I'll keep this on hand. I mean, I've never tried the invisible one, but I can't imagine that it's that bad. I should probably actually try it before I make a decision on whether or not I would like actually travel with that. But in the same breath, I feel like now that I'm looking at this, I don't know. I guess it would depend on how long I'm traveling for. But like I also don't want to open it up now and test it and then not travel for like a year, you know? I don't know. Keeping it, but we'll decide what to do with that later. I was actually very, 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 very happy to find these in this drawer because I thought I was almost out of the one. I was like, I really don't want to spend the money on this, but I have a full-size grande brow and 2 of the little teeny minis. There's one grande brow, one grande lash. They're the exact same ingredients. You don't have to like buy one versus the other. Grande brow is slightly more expensive, but you get more product, but the applicators are different, so kind of keep that in mind if you're planning on using this. I am actually now at the point with my brows that I am going to start switching to every other day, at least right now. While I'm happy with how my brows look, I feel like, especially as someone with Trick, there's always the chance that I could just fuck them up again and then end up needing to go back to once a day. However, I do currently have press-ons on, and I've been wearing press-ons for a little while, and that is massive in preventing me from being able to pick. So that's cool. I didn't get rid of anything. I did pull one thing out though, and let's be honest, that giant micellar water is heavy and big, so don't judge me for this. I have the Mario Badescu facial spray, the green tea one. I use this to spray onto my face before I put on SPF. This is an old holdout from an old SPF that I used to wear, that if I didn't have some sort of moisture on my skin before I put it on, it would like ball up. And so that was what I ended up doing to kind of make it work, and then I ended up just trying new SPFs. But it's just a holdout. I like the way that it feels. Makes my skin feel nice. It doesn't really do anything, doesn't do anything bad to my skin, so I'm gonna keep doing it. And I like the Mario Badescu one because it smells good, and well, frankly, it's like $12 for this giant bottle, and I've been using the same bottle for so fucking long that I can't really argue with that. And then next up, I have 2 of the e.l.f. cleansers. Actually, I went to Target 2 days ago, and I kind of knew in the back of my head that I didn't have any backups of the cleanser, and that I was like halfway done with the one that was in there. And so I kind of just like walked by the e.l.f. row, and I saw that these were on clearance for $6, and there was 2 left, and I was like, well, then I'll just take both of them. Honestly, if there had been more, I probably would have bought more because that clearance was like 50% off. So that's why I did that. Typically with my backups, or typically with my declutters, I should say, I do like counts where I'll be like, oh my god, I had like 10 bronzers and now I'm down to 6 or whatever. All of my drawers are kind of mix mashed together, so I'm not gonna do that in today's video. I also realized that because I just filmed my like 6-month low-buy update recently, but I filmed it like right after I was like getting over having COVID, so my brain was not, it was not hitting it 100%. And usually at the end of those videos I do like a little like inventory breakdown, like this is how much I had at my last inventory count and this is how much total makeup I have, and I forgot to mention that. So I mean, it is what it is. But so yeah, no numbers today, but I'm gonna go put this one away so it's out of my way. Oh, this is so much lighter. The drawer was so much lighter and nicer without that giant micellar water in there. Okay, next drawer is setting sprays and primers, and I'm actually going to keep this drawer out once I'm done going through it because I may pull some stuff from one of these other drawers to like, there's already empty space in here, so I may kind of, you know. Anyways, that's what the drawer looks like. I have too many setting sprays. You know what, I'm just going to keep holding this up for just 1 second because realistically most of this, I'll take these out. These are all staying in here. I have 2 of the Morphe Continuous Setting Mists. Love those so much for kind of like melting down powders. I have 1 of the Makeup Revolution Super Fix Super Hold Misting Spray. Love that so much. It's a great setting spray. I have 3. I think I bought them when they were like 50% off. I have 3 of the Morphe Continuous Primer Spray, or whatever it's called. I can tell you. Prime and Set Mist. And then I have 1 of the NYX Bear With Me setting spray. So before I put on primer, after I put on creams, after I put on powders, set down my whole face. The only one that's missing in here is the Milani Make It Last, which I also use, but I don't have any backups of that at the moment. Okay, and then I have 4 primers. as backups. This is so fucking unnecessary, but I refuse to get rid of any of these, unless this smells bad. Because I did open this to test it in a video and then put it away because I had another gripping primer out. Okay, I'm gonna keep both of these. I do love having a gripping primer. I just don't need both of them, but Mint Melt is my absolute favorite, and it's completely discontinued. I will smell this before I put it on my face because I've had this for a hot ass minute, but I'm not gonna open it now. And then my absolute favorite Ride or Die primer is the Iconic London Underglow Blurring Primer. This is very similar to the e.l.f. Putty Primer Liquid. Honestly, I'll probably continue to just buy the e.l.f. one because I don't love the... This is a drippy bottle, this drop bottle, and it is kind of messy, like kind of very messy, and you can't lay it on its side, which is how I have all of my primers and stuff when they're out here. So I'll probably just use e.l.f. e.l.f.'s also a lot cheaper. They're very similar, but once I have the e.l.f. one finished, I'm gonna pull this one out. I also currently have out the e.l.f. Jelly Pop Primer, which is why those two gripping primers are put away. And then last but not least, I also have this little mini NYX Hydra Touch, which once I have a different like hydrating, just kind of moisturizing primer finished, I will pull this one out. So keeping everything. I'm not doing a good job. Okay, jumping quickly over to something that's completely different. I have my lash drawer. Two things. One, I did recently repurchase lashes from Shop Miss A. I buy all of my lashes from Shop Miss A, and since they're like $1 to $2, I usually just buy a whole shitload of them at once and then just keep them in here and then just as I need them. With that being said, the way that I do it is I literally just pull out one pair of lashes and I wear that until that pair falls apart, and then I move on, which is usually about a week, give or take. The last pair of lashes I had out lasted for a lot longer because even when I was doing makeup while I had COVID, just as like something to do, I was not putting on lashes. And I've also been kind of just like not putting on lashes when I've been going to work. So I've really only been wearing lashes when I'm filming and also just like, you know, other random things, but like for the most part, really not wearing lashes all that often. So that's thing one. Thing two, I am more privy to shorter, like flared lashes these days. I don't really like gigantic lashes like I used to. And with that being said, sometimes it can be hard to tell if a lash is like massive online. So sometimes I end up buying some lashes that I end up with that are just something that I would never ever wear. So I'm gonna actually go through these. Okay. I'm gonna pull these out. I also always use the AOA Studios from Shop Miss A lash glue. I actually just get these directly from Amazon because you can buy a 4-pack for like 10 bucks. They're exactly like Duo brush on lash glue, but significantly cheaper because one is like $6, and like I said, a 4-pack is like $10. So much better buy. I do really love how nicely they stack together, though. It makes organizing them in these drawers very lovely. So see, a lash like this, way too big. We're gonna get rid of that. This is borderline. This is borderline. I'm gonna keep this because I may be able to do like a half lash situation with them, but borderline. This is about as long as I would like them to be. And those are nice, so. And I always buy in duplicates. Sarah is like my absolute favorite. I always buy in duplicates, so you're gonna see a lot of the same ones over and over again. Who the fuck did I think I was? That's too much lash. See, like I bought 2 hazels because I didn't know, and that's just too much lash. Ooh, another Sarah. Ooh, another Sarah. I know that Sarah is my favorite, so I always buy multiple. This is a newer style to me. I don't know that I'll love it because they look very kind of almost blocky, but I will give them a shot. Nora is cute. It's very thin and wispy. See, what I need to do is I need to start writing down the names of the ones that I really like because that would make reordering a lot easier. Anastasia, whichever, is another one that I do really like. Okay, apparently I bought multiple Haleys, even though I'm looking at them now and I'm not sure about them, but I bought 3 fucking hazels. Who the fuck did I think I was? Oh, Rachel. Rachel is another one that I really, really, really like. What am I wearing? Oh, today I'm wearing Anastasia. So here's another one of the one that I said I was going to keep because I may be able to work it as like a half lash. Another Rachel. And then last 2. One that I could use as a half lash, and then another Sarah. Okay, see, I mean, getting rid of 4 pairs of lashes, that's pretty good. I recently, like, within the last like month or 2, shipped out a bunch of makeup to Project Beauty Share, like my declutters and like especially like the backups and lashes and stuff like that to Project Beauty Share. And my mom helped me do it. And my container that I put my like decluttered stuff that is donatable to is been living in my car. I really need to bring that in because now I have some lashes to put in there. Okay, I have 2 more drawers, and this is where things are going to start maybe hopefully getting a little bit interesting. So here's one drawer, which is like powder foundations, some bronzers, some foundations, stuff like that. And then a couple other random things at the bottom. Okay, I have 2 of the Wet n Wild tinted hydrators. I have Fair and Light because I remember from when I used to wear this that I had to mix the 2 together to get my perfect shade. I'm actually not gonna pull out any foundations right now. I still have a decent amount out in my vanity, so I'm not gonna pull any out yet. And then I need to decide what I want to move into the drawer with the sprays. Okay. I also have 2, don't judge me for this, I have 2 of the A2O Lab Soft Matte Foundations. So these are from Shop Miss A as well. These are $4 per foundation. You do get 0.67 fluid ounces, so it's slightly under a full ounce. So let's call it 8. You get $8 for, it's $8 for about 1.2 fluid ounces. However, with that being said, this is one of my absolute favorite foundations to ever exist. This is such a beautiful foundation. I have one that's open. I started using it in December when I first bought it, and I put it in like my holiday haul. But I would like find myself like not wanting to use it because I didn't have a backup, and Shop Miss A is not the easiest to like you can't just pop into a store or just like buy it online and have it show up quickly. Shop Miss A takes a long time to ship. So I decided when I was going to be buying lashes again that I would just pick up 2, and then that way I can actually use my favorite foundation without being like, oh my god, what if I run out? So not that I don't have other foundations that I could use in the meantime, but you know what I mean. So with that being said, I picked up 2. That way I can actually, you know, use that foundation and love that foundation. I have a e.l.f. Prime and Stay finishing powder. The way I use this, because this is very sheer, is I will use it on my cheeks and like set over my cream blush just so I can put a little bit of powder on top without it being like way too much. So I use this kind of in this space right here, and that's it. This is like a couple bucks, super cheap. So I picked up 2 the last time. When I was running out of one, I picked up 2 just to have, and that one's already out in my vanity, living its best life. So keeping this. I think I'm gonna put powder foundations over here. This one has to go on the top though because it's like a weird shape. I have, this actually kind of surprised me how quickly I went through this. So back in December, as part of my holiday haul, I had tried the ColourPop pressed powder bronzer. This is in the shade of Vila Beach, and I had it in my monthly makeup basket for May, and I blew May, June, one of those 2 months. I hit pan as I was filming the video for that and then proceeded to use it for an entire month. So I actually blew through this pretty quickly. So I think it was on sale, and so I was like, let me just grab a backup. And then I also have a backup that I purchased at some point when it was on sale of the Juvia's Place Bronze Duo in Light. I currently actually have this in my monthly makeup basket for this month, and it's the lighter, so it's a light shade and then like a slightly deeper shade. I have the slightly deeper shade on my forehead right now because I have actually almost completely used up the lighter shade, and that's the shade that I prefer more, but during the summer obviously I can use the deeper shade and it look fine. So I've actually had this in my backups for a little while, but that's fine. Okay, and then right here is the reason why I was ordering stuff directly from e.l.f. The e.l.f. Camo Powder Foundation is hands down one of my favorite powder foundations. It doesn't have the greatest reviews, and I don't really understand why, because I think that it's a great powder foundation. I just don't know if maybe I use it differently than other people, but regardless. I love this powder foundation, and then I went into my backup drawers for something, and I realized, like, oh shit, I'm out of camo. I need to, like, and then the one that I have out is almost out. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these and put it in my makeup basket so that it's ready to go. No, I don't need to do that. Yeah, I'm going to do that. One less thing in here. Anyways, it's like, oh shit, I need to buy more. I was like, hey, I got a $10 gift card to Target. Let me check Target. Target didn't have it anymore. Interesting. Let me check Ulta. Ulta doesn't sell it anymore. Are they discontinuing this on me? And then I went to e.l.f.'s site, and e.l.f. has every single shade and then some. So I ended up just buying 4 total from e.l.f. So I have always used Fair 150C. It's actually the shade that I'm wearing on my face today. Works really nicely with a foundation that is a little bit too warm for me, because that powder foundation is a little bit too cool, but they kind of neutralize out together, as you can see. And then I've always wanted to try 140W as kind of an alternative, and so I actually have one out right now. I've used it like once or twice, but I do really enjoy it. Anyways, my point is I have 4 now, so total 5 if you count the one that's open in my makeup basket. But yeah, I was like struggle, because here's the thing with powder foundation, with me and powder foundations, there are some that I like underneath my eyes and there are some that I like on my face, and typically the two, like, I have not found a powder foundation that I like both underneath my eyes and on the rest of my face. Haven't found it. That's typically because I will use a slightly lighter powder foundation underneath my eyes than on the rest of my face, but that's besides the point. I have not found a powder foundation that the formula I have liked on my entire face, you know? So I was like digging through Ulta, Sephora, Target, Walmart even, looking at every single powder foundation, trying to find one that was BDS safe and that I would like. And the only powder foundations that all of those places had that I was either would have been comfortable buying because I knew that I liked the formula, or would have been, you know, like otherwise willing to try it, they were all non-BDS safe brands. And I was like, well, fuck, that's why I had to go purchase it directly from e.l.f. With that being said, this is one that, like, I kind of teeter-totter with being okay with it on my whole face, and I probably would have just picked up a slightly deeper shade for the rest of my face. This has also been discontinued. This is the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Powder Foundation. I do prefer this underneath my eyes, but I don't hate it on the rest of my face. But it's also been discontinued. But I'm gonna keep it because I do like it. And then thankfully this one hasn't been discontinued, but this is the Essence 16-Hour Cover and Last Powder Foundation. Now this one right here, I only like underneath my eyes. I do not like this on the rest of my face whatsoever. I don't know what it is about it, but this is like this is my ride or die under the eye powder. It's actually what I'm wearing underneath my eyes right now. Keeping that. And then last but not least for powders, and hopefully I can swing, reorganize those right there. I might be able to get away with fitting it right there. Last but not least for powders, I do have a backup of the Physicians Formula Butter Glow powder. I use this as kind of like a soft glow. I don't have any on my face right now, but I use this as kind of like a soft glow, like on my forehead, my cheeks, just kind of make my skin look a little bit more like skin sometimes when I don't necessarily want a completely matte look. But I have hit pan on the one that I have, so I have a backup. Hey, that fits perfectly right there. And then we'll put the e.l.f. in there. Now I'm happy with that, and I can go put this drawer away. This is an extremely random thing to have in my backup drawer, but I have a backup of the mini of the Too Faced Gingerbread Spice Palette. Listen, Hot Toddy is hands down one of my absolute favorite eyeshadow shades. And I have the full size of the Gingerbread Spice Palette. And then they launched this a couple years ago, and I was like, but they didn't have the full size anymore. And I was like, well, I have to have more Hot Toddy. So I ended up picking this up, and then at some point when I was like kind of reorganizing, I was like, I don't need both of these out. So I just put this in my backup, and I'm gonna keep it. Still smells good, so we're still good. I have a backup of the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. This is my replacement for the Tarte Shape Tape Ultra Creamy once I finish up all of those, which I do have one in the backups. I stupidly have two open right now, but I don't want to get into it. You can check out my base declutter if you want to see that. I'm going to keep this because I do really like this concealer, but I will never purchase from the brand again. I have a backup of the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter. This is my favorite out of all of the different types of liquid filter glowy base products. This one's definitely my favorite out of all of them. The only one that even comes close to me is Auric Glow Lust, but the price difference makes me lean more e.l.f. And then I also have a backup of the NYX Bear With Me Concealer Serum. Love this concealer, won't repurchase it ever again. They are not BDS safe. Same with the Sephora Best Skin Ever concealer. Love this concealer, won't purchase them from them again, but I'm gonna keep this stuff for now, and you know, I'll use them up, blah blah blah. And then I got 3 foundations. I have a backup of NARS Sheer Glow. These are all backups, I don't know why I said backup. I also have a Pure 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie. These are my 3 favorite foundations, like, to ever exist. That, like, these 3. Very different price points here. But, like, if my entire makeup collection were to disappear, this is what I would go get first. Like, foundation-wise, these would be my have-to-gets. So, definitely keeping those. And then, I have something that I'm actually getting rid of. I have a backup of the Oma Beauty Flawless IRL Skin Perfecting Foundation. The reason why I have this as a backup is I actually bought this during my no buy, but I didn't count it against myself. I was at Walmart, because this brand sold at Walmart. I was at Walmart one day, and I think I was going to buy something like as an actual replacement. I don't remember what it was, but I was in the makeup department, and this foundation was on sale for $1. And I had already had one, and at the time I was enjoying it. So when I saw this was on sale for $1, I was like, fuck yeah, I'll just buy a backup of that. That's $1. I can swing $1, you know? I have since had the open one and a monthly makeup basket where I was wearing it every single day for a month. And listen, you learn to either really love or really hate a product when you wear it damn near every day for a month. And I learned that I really, really don't like this foundation. I think it's fine. It doesn't look good throughout the day. It breaks down pretty quickly. It just, overall, not my favorite. So I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that. I mean, like, let's be honest here. It's not really a surprise that I'm not getting rid of a ton from, like, my backups drawers, because realistically, if I'm buying things as backups, it's because I love them enough to want to make sure that I always have it. So it's not surprising that I'm not getting rid of a ton. I also haven't drastically, what is this black right here? I haven't drastically changed, like, how I do my makeup in recent times, which was the reason why I ended up decluttering a bunch of makeup a year or 2 ago, was because I had so drastically changed how I do my makeup that I was just like, oh, I can get rid of, like, all of this because I don't use it anymore, or I hate the way that this looks now. So it's no surprise, but look at how much better this drawer looks now. So much better. And then last but not least, random tiny stuff. Okay, first things first, I always buy these during, like, the holidays. As you can see, it's definitely like a holiday set. In theory, if I were to ever have timed this out correctly, in theory, 1 box of 4 should last me the entire year, because you get rid of a mascara after 3 months. 3, 6, 9, 12, right? But it never works out that way. But I always keep these. Essence Lash Princess is hands down my favorite mascara. I use it all the time. I have the green one on right now. I also have this random sample from some point. This is the L'Oreal Voluminous Original. Alright, I have two backups of liquid liners. I have the Physicians Formula Eye Booster Waterproof and then NYX Epic Ink. Once I finish up this one, I'm gonna hold a funeral and then only purchase Physicians Formula again. They are very similar. I do think that NYX is better, but NYX is not BDS safe. So with that being said, Physicians Formula it is. I have two backups of just the black About Face Line Artist liners. These are my ride or die. I blow through these basically every time I see these on sale. I pick up one or two because it's just one of those things. It's just like I always like to have them on hand because I do go through these pretty quickly. Let's get the brow stuff out of the way. I have a backup of my two shades of the Milani Weekend Brow. So I use medium brown to fill out my tail, and then I will take espresso and kind of just like just throw in some brow strokes just in randomly sparse areas. I actually, from like here to here, have like no product except for brow gel right now, which I'm very proud of. I don't have nearly as much brow product in as I usually do. Used to. I love that so much. I also have I've had this backup for so long, of the NYX Lift and Snatch Brow Pen. I don't like this nearly as much as the Milani one. Also, again, not BDS safe, but I have it. So, you know, I'll use it once my medium brown of the Milani is done. I also have a backup of the e.l.f. Wow Brow. Really like this brow gel. Really, really nice. I do really enjoy it. I also really like a NYX one, but NYX is the one brand that is just like, it's killing me that they're not BDS safe. It actually, like, it deeply upsets me. Let's talk about plumping lip glosses. So, the way that I do this, and I've just kind of like figured this out over time, let me backtrack. I put on a plumping lip gloss every day when I'm doing my makeup so I'll like do my whole base. And then once I'm doing my brows and like touching up my liner, putting on my lashes, stuff like that, before I do my lips, I will toss on a plumping lip gloss and then wipe it off and then put on whatever I'm putting on my lips. I have learned that the length of time that it takes me to finish off one tube of these lip glosses, my lips kind of get used to it by the end, and then they stop being as effective. So what I do is I flip back and forth between different formulas. I have always used the Too Faced lip injection. I always end up with these little mini ones, and typically that's about the length of time that it'll take me to become immune to it. However, not BDS safe. So once I finish up this one and the one that I have out currently, and then typically I will switch over to the Essence What the Fake. So Too Faced is more like bee stingy, whereas this is like spicy. This is very, 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 very spicy. Just be warned, this is probably one of the spiciest plumping lip glosses out there. It literally says with chili extract on it. So I'll switch back and forth between those two. And then I was like, I knew I needed to buy a backup of this because I have a Too Faced one out right now, so I needed this one to switch to once I was done with the Too Faced one. And I was like, you know what, let me pick up the Essence What the Fake Extreme. So they're both the same. This is the icy one, and let me see how this one works out for me, and I can kind of, not at the same time, but once I finish up the spicy one, switch over to cool, and then back and forth. So I'm gonna try this one out at some point, but keeping all of those, they're the same but different, if that makes any sense. All right, I still have a backup of the Anastasia Beverly Hills Nicole Glow Kit. I bought the backup specifically for Daydream. However, I refuse to pull this backup out until I finish up more of the other shades in the one that I have out now, even though Daydream is like long gone from that one. But still have this as a backup. Will be very sad once I have it no longer in my backup, because that means that I will no longer be able to, once I finish it, I will no longer have access to it, but that is staying. And then last but not least, I just have like a shitload of lip liners. A shitload of lip liners. A lot of them are the same. Okay, so first things first, my brain is turning off. which thankfully we're almost done. First things first, I have the Wet n Wild gel lip liner, specifically in the shade Bear to Comment. This is like my Lips But Better shade. I will oftentimes just kind of smear this all over my lips and call it a day when I'm like getting ready quicker, but love this. It's also like only a couple bucks, so often when I'm like picking up stuff from Target and say I need like a couple bucks to reach like a $5 gift card, I'll just add one of these. Oh, how did I end up with this? I have 4 of these, which is kind of offensive if you ask me. I don't even have one of these out. I'm gonna put one of these out here. I have the deeper one, but I didn't have a nude one out here. Anyways, I now have 3 of the LA Girl Ultimate Lip Liner in the shade Nonstop Nude. It's like the browner version of a like My Lips But Better. It's just like a nice all over, or just like quick lip line without being like so intensely drastically different, just like nude lip liner. And then last but not least, I have 2 of the ColourPop Lippy Pencil in BFF. This is like my cooler toned perfect nude, if that makes any sense. So I've got my pinky, my pinky peachy, my nude, like my brown nude, and then my like cooler tone brown nude perfect lipstick or lip liner, keeping those. Hey, I put one thing out. So I pulled 2 things out to like actually have out, and then I got rid of 5 things. That wasn't a very successful day, but it is what it is. I wasn't expecting to declutter a ton from here. I guess this was kind of more of a like, what do I love so much that I like keep as a backup kind of thing. You know, either way. And a reorganization situation. But yeah, comment down below and let me know, do you keep backups? Do you ever go through your backups and like get rid of stuff? What's your backups situation like? I would love to hear all about it. Please subscribe if you have not already. It would mean the world to me. Like this video, ring the bell, do all the things. I hope you guys have an awesome day, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!